Okay, so, hi there guys. I'm not going to show you my face because it's covered in avocado cream. So, today I'm going to describe how I made my Dave's timetable. So you can see that. Okay, so, obviously you're gonna need a record. I use the bigger ones. I don't forget what they're called. And then the phone part, which in the video, because it's crappy quality obviously, you can't really see it, but it's actually insulation foam, rigid insulation foam. I bought it at Home Depot, and you really don't need like a giant sheet obviously. So I'm gonna guess that this is like 1.5 feet, this bottom part. So you need at least that much, and then since you use 2 pieces, you're gonna need at least 5 feet in width, but I would go with like 7 feet or even more because I screwed up when I did it mine, and I'm not gonna talk about that. So you're gonna need 2 pieces. You don't actually have to do the white part, but I think it looks nice and it gives it more dimension because obviously it's bigger. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your insulation foam. And what I suggest is making a template because it will be a lot easier in the long run when you're tracing out your shape and you want it to be the same as the other one. I don't have my other one because it's in my closet and I don't feel like getting it. So basically what I did was I traced the record and I made it this shape. It's okay if it's a little bit longer because I think it looks nice because for whatever reason I just think it looks nice. And then once you've traced your first template, which will just be like a circle, simple as that, the next part is you're going to do the gear part. For the gear part, obviously you start out with the shape of the circle. You're not going to make it any bigger around the edges, at least I didn't. For this part, you're going to have to figure out how long you want these to be. I think mine are like 2 inches and then 3 across, something like that. And then you're going to want to figure out how long you want the spaces in between, but I think that also kind of depends. Really, what this size depends on how many of these you want. I made 8. Some people do 6, some people do, I don't know, some other number. I found it was easiest to do 8. Sorry. So what you're going to want to do is, when you have your circle, you're going to want to find the middle point, the radius, whatever you want to do with that. So obviously you just take a ruler across and then mark out 6, or whatever the hell your size of your record is. You're going to want to mark that out. Then you're just going to draw a straight line because it's a circle, so it'll be a straight line down the center. So from there, you're going to go to the edge of the circle and you're going to measure out how tall you want it to be and how long you want it to be, and then go from there. And then do the same thing on the bottom. Now for this part, it's I don't know, was this tricky for me? I forget. You're gonna have to figure out where the middle point of it is, of this line going through the circle. It sounds like an easy bit. I don't know why. But once you figure that out, then you do the same thing. Then once you have like a square, it's actually a lot more easier to find these because obviously you just have to figure out the middle point between these two and like other lines. I wish I had my template, but I think it's downstairs. It'd be easier to show you. But if you have any questions, I could definitely go find it for you guys. Hopefully it'll still be down there. But it's definitely easier when you go out and just do it. It's hard to explain. So then the next part is you're going to fix up your record. Because I don't know about you, but whenever I bought my record, it was a little, scratched up. It wasn't perfect. And obviously the middle center wasn't white. I used house paint white that we just had lying around because my parents were doing renovations on our house. And so I just took blue tape, green frog tape, whatever the hell you have, just made a circle around it and then painted the white. And then, since my paint was kind of thick, I don't know, I kind of liked it better than the normal one. I need a new coat on this. You can't see it, but it's actually gotten kind of dirty because of my ring. I'll talk about the ring later, though. So, put the tape around it, painted it, took the tape off. Then I went around and, like, any weird things that were on here, I washed the record. I put some black marks, like, with the Sharpie on them. I mean, really, you shouldn't have to do that much to your record, but it should be fine. But anyway. Oh yeah, I forgot. I skipped over something. Well, once you've done that, then you can set that aside. Then you're going to take your insulation foam that you drew on. And for this part, I would suggest getting someone who knows how to use power tools to do this for you. Luckily, my dad knows how to use power tools, so that was good. Unless you're going to go at this with a X-Acto knife or some other kind of knife, which I really don't suggest doing because it sounds very painful to do, especially for this rough part. I could never do it. So what we did was we took the insulation foam and we just put it over a box. Just simple like that. Just a big box that we had. And my dad has some crazy power saw. It's like it's like a box, right? And then it has like a thin saw part that comes down straight down. It's very tiny. It's like that big, and it just kind of went through the thing. That's really, I'll explain it. Then we just cut it over the box and then it popped out. You might have a little bit of mistakes, and I just say you really shouldn't freak out. Like, none of these look perfect, but you can't tell. So that's like the best part. I mean, if you really looked at it, but I mean, who's really gonna look at it like that close? And besides, if people think that you didn't do your job, then they're stupid. And you should just tell them to go away. Because obviously, you worked hard for this. Okay. So yeah, you just have to cut them out. I have to say, I probably would have never been able to done this if I didn't have those power tools, because I would just cried the entire time. But if you have patience, then good for you. I don't. You could actually, no, you can't see this one. You can see like a little bit of the purple insulation foam, but it doesn't really matter. So, like I said, I had the house paint white, you know, the wall white, whatever the hell it is. So that's not really expensive, especially if you go to A's. Not A's, because no one else is an A's. I'm the only one who has an A's. If you go to your local hardware store, and maybe if you have coupon, even Home Depot or something, you could probably get one of those really tiny little cans that are like sample cans. Because you really don't need that much paint for this, especially if unless you're going to use more paint on something else. Yeah, you get one of those little cans, and that should only cost you like, you know, I don't really know how much, maybe like $5 or more. I really don't know. Paint. I did this a while ago. You're just gonna have to paint it. You're gonna have to do a couple coats because it's obvious. Because like if you're like me, you got the purple one, Pink Panther, whatever. It'll show through. I mean, around this side, it didn't really show through that much, especially if you have lettering. Yeah, this one it has lettering. Can you see that? No, you cannot see that. Well, it has lettering if you look closely on the back. That's not a big deal, but you should cover it more thoroughly. I did the same thing with the red, except with the red, the whole thing is you're gonna really want to keep whatever red paint you get, like sealed, locked away, stored in a high place where people can't knock it over and spill it everywhere. Because that happened to me, and then I had to go find the red paint again, and that wasn't fun. Because the whole thing is when you take this to a convention, it's gonna knock into something or someone, and it's gonna get like a little tiny chip, and then you're gonna be like, there's a little tiny chip, someone's gonna notice, and no one's gonna notice, but you know, it's annoying. The other thing with these edges, if you want, you could sand them down. I didn't, because I didn't feel it was necessary. But if you're like a super perfectionist, then go ahead. It would probably look really great. So, once you have all your things painted, and once they're all dry, and I swear to God, do not use spray cans. Swear to God, do never use spray cans. Don't even use acrylic paint when you're using this, because it'll be a waste of money, because it'll just if you get one of those tiny bottles, which probably have nothing left, that'll be stupid. But if you get a house paint pan, at least it'll last longer. And it has a nice shiny finish. And it doesn't have like weird streaks in it. Anyway, do not use spray cans because what happens is it eats through the foam. Oh yeah, it ate through my foam. I almost had a meltdown because I almost fucked it all up. So that was fun. So don't do that. Please don't ever do that. So you have your things painted with good paint, hopefully. You don't have to use good paint, obviously, but I suggest it. It always looks better. Just to go a little step further. Also, records are really cheap, too. No, that's good. Okay, so for your construction together, I am a lover of hot glue, and I will always love hot glue. But before we get to the hot glue, you have to puncture a hole through your thing. Well, I guess you could do the hot glue first if you really wanted to. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, I think I punctured my hole through first. We just took like a wooden skewer, just jabbed it right through. Real fun. It's actually not as easy as it sounds. You'd think it's easy as it sounds. I'm sorry, it's not. And then we took fishing wire. I'm sure there's something better you can use, because the fishing wire kind of sucks. I don't know. I could always fix it one day, but I don't know if I can. Not truth. So I use floss too. Would use fishing wire. And then you attach a ring to it. I wholeheartedly suggest getting a ring that's like a couple sizes bigger than your finger, or whatever finger you're gonna use. I think I usually use my middle finger. But the whole thing is, your fingers get swollen no matter what you do. Like, I can barely get this off right now, and my hands aren't even swollen. I just use a ring that's lying around the house, but definitely get a big one, because I swear to God, when you have both of these on your hands, you're never going to be able to get them off without a friend. It's really sad. And then to connect them to the bottom, I just used a button. Simple as that. Tied it in, hot glue it, and then you have your timetable. Looks great. Also use a thin ring when you're doing this. So this. And then, okay. And that's how I made my timetable. Definitely get a bigger ring size.